Without further ado, our next presenters are actually our biggest helpers for the day. Takalaadalo nga ara presentation, may technical assistance rin. From the Information System Support Services from the Ministry of Finance, Robert Gordon and Eloy Skolbu.
Thank you, Weber, for your introduction. Well, we are going to talk more about ourselves, and then we'll explain what the Information Systems Support Services is and what we did at that office.
I'm Robert Gordon. I go to Washington State University, and I'm currently studying MIS, Management Information Systems.
And I'm Eloy Skolbu. I just got my bachelor's in electrical engineering at the University of Hawaii at Manoa.
So for our internship program, we've been working at the Information System Support Services at the Ministry of Finance at One Stop Shop. We've been supervised by Jeff Brooks Yel and Director Conrad Alel. And the mission statement of ISSS is to develop, administer, maintain the central computer system of the Republic. It's basically IT work.
It is IT work, but to make it easier to explain what we did, because we covered so many areas, we decided to split it up to the physical side of IT and more recently the digital side of IT, which involves more networking and programming. Robert, can you tell us about the physical side, your focus?
The physical side included Ethernet cabling, where we would go into the ceilings and do installations, installation repairs, and usage analysis of the different ports around the building, and camera wiring, setting up the PCs, updating drivers and factory resets. I must have done around 40 PCs. General troubleshooting, keypad configuration and documentation, where we set the keypads to lock the doors during closing time and be unlocked during work hours.
For the digital side, the first one, it's big. It's a pretty big phrase, programmatic cloud cost minimization. A fancy way of saying it is look over all the different places online where you could migrate our infrastructure out so that if there's a power outage, our system is still functional. I think we covered over 150,000 purchase options from Amazon and over around 151 from another cloud provider called Vulture. And we came up with a plan that was 1/9 of the original estimate that our project assigner gave us. Of course, we also have the networking side of One Stop Shop because it's not good to use the internet for anything you want in an office environment. It is not good to use the internet for whatever you want in an office environment. So that's where I came in with network analysis. In particular, we would look at different types of connections made. Is it from a browser? Is it from Microsoft Office? Is it encrypted? Is it decrypted? We would look at how long connections were made. Are you looking something up or are you downloading a large file? And we would also look at how much data different computers would take up. And in line with network inspection, we also looked at IP addresses. There was one computer that was making calls to an unusual foreign nation. And so we we went in, we got the top 509 IP addresses that computer called to and filtered through every single one of them with 80 security providers through an online service to make sure that they're all safe, more or less. Next slide, please.
This is a photo of me setting up the wiring for a CCTV camera. And then down on the bottom left is me setting up the cabling for the Ethernet. And then the very bottom is me setting up some laptops.
3 at the same time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Usually it takes a whole afternoon.
We appreciate your work, Robert. This is me in one of the computers inspecting ports that go in and out of it because there's only so much you can do at the router. You have to go to a physical computer. If you look over here at this little window, it's really short because I forgot to open the terminal with administrator privileges. So It was work in progress. It was a work in progress. Down here, this was the keypad configuration Robert mentioned earlier. It's at the back of One Stop Shop where they're building a walkway for. But because keypads, you have to type really long numbers just to control settings, I had to have a little thingy here to write down and keep track of everything I put in. Next slide, please.
My plan for the future is to finish my last year and a half at WSU and maybe work on campus for a little bit to save up some money and eventually grad school.
And for me, after I finish my 2 weeks of my internship, I'm going to go back to UH Manoa to get my master's in electrical engineering. And after that, in some order, work in Palau, work outside of Palau, maybe get a PhD. To be decided, to be decided. Thank you. Next slide, please. And of course, we would like to thank the people that made our experience possible. We would like to thank Director Conrad Alael for allowing both of us into information systems and support services. He signed my paperwork, I think, on the night of. He was very patient with me, which I'm very grateful for. We would especially like to thank Brooks Tgel because he was the one who is in the office with us basically every day, teaching us the ins and outs of IT, making us do things that we normally wouldn't be able to do ourselves, and teaching us skills that we could take into our own home networking setups. And we also have to thank Leonie Christman, who gave us, all of us interns at MOF, a 1 week orientation so that we wouldn't drop in like lost ducks. We knew who was what and where. We knew where we needed to go if we wanted something specific. And I think that is something that's not seen very often, and we are very lucky to have her for it.
Also, thanks to Dilams Masabalu for providing many of the pictures we used because we're not really good with the rule of 2/3.
Yes.
And thank you to PNSB and especially Mori for guiding us through this thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sulong, Eloise, and Robert for your very entertaining presentation. And also thank you for being the men behind the plan, behind the computers doing the IT work. And does anybody have any questions in regards to these two in the IT department?
I have one. When you
Wireless mic.
about that one computer that had that that was making those calls to the foreign nation,
Hmm.
do you recall what I'm talking about?
I recall that computer, yes.
And you investigated 500, whatever it was. I'm
Yes.
not an IT person. My question is, were they all safe?
506 of them were safe. 3 of them were neutral. Those 3 IP addresses we checked, they weren't flagged as belonging to one specific hacker group or a malicious actor, but their redirection. So companies, good or bad, could route traffic through there. And so it's at that point I believe we settled on just talking to the user, but it's not like someone was trying to break into One Stop. Thankfully. Any other questions?
All right, thank you. Another round of applause for our IT men. And for our next presenter, coming down from the Financial and Economic Intelligence Services from the Ministry of Finance, my fellow co-host and fellow UH Manoa, Manower, Weber Santiago.
Thank you, Yuji. Thank you, Eloise and Robert, for a very entertaining presentation. I'm also doing a video slash vlog presentation like Wingildil. Unfortunately, I don't have the technical skills to make a video. I also don't know how to work a camera or do the 2/3 thing that Robert talked about. So my video is actually directed by another intern at the Ministry of Finance, our marketing intern, Dilams Masablu as well. So please thank her for making my video for me. I mean, helping me with my video. Ali. Ali. This was submitted this morning, so I have not seen this video. Just letting you out. I trust her that much. Ano po? Ali, nakangklega Weber Santiago, yang kamo adrang yaw na bilyo. I'm a recent graduate of the University of Hawaii at Manoa, where I received my Bachelor's of Arts degree in economics. And this year, I'm a PNSB summer intern. I actually interned here last year, so this time around, I'm a returning intern to the Financial and Economic Intelligence Services, FEIS, Alnia Tarobis sa Ministry of Finance. Because of that, this time around, I've had the opportunity to experience real government work on a deeper level. It really feels like I'm doing actual work, both the really exciting, important work and the sometimes not so exciting, boring work. Throughout the internship, I was working under Ralin Rani, a microeconomist for the government, and through the many things that she does, I've had the opportunity to work under President Surangal Whips Jr., Nia Acting Minister of Finance, Director Kalip Udoy Jr. of the Bureau of Budget and Planning, economist Liam Carson, and so many others who all need the important input and perspective of somebody who studied economics. This experience really puts my degree to use. Reflecting on my entire internship experience this year has been really worthwhile. I've had the opportunity to sit in high-level bilateral discussions with foreign dignitaries from the US, sat in budget meetings, worked on the budget and the accompanying budget statement, and even worked towards whole-of-government initiatives, like the planning of the Pacific Islands Forum Leaders Meeting coming to Palau at the end of August. I have also met with representatives from international bodies like the IMF and worked with actual economists, both foreign and Palauan. I can confidently say that it feels great working for the government and contributing to Palau in a meaningful way. I think public service is a calling, in the sense that not everyone has the ability to stay and work in government because it often comes at some personal cost like lesser pay. But people do it, and they do it for a lot less. Because I believe so much in public service, I think the next step for me after this internship is to actually go back and pursue a graduate degree. That is exactly what I intend to do. I have been accepted into the Masters in Public Administration program at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, my alma mater, and I plan to begin my journey there this upcoming fall. With a Masters in Public Administration, I want to return to Palau and design better systems of governance and bureaucracy that are more efficient and better for those who work in government and the people that we serve. Brother Belao. I want to thank everyone at the Palau National Scholarship Board, including its members and staff, for this opportunity, the Ministry of Finance, their directors and chiefs, and everyone at FEIS, especially my supervisor, Ralin, and Leonie Chrisman, the HR specialist and interns program coordinator at MOF. Lastly, I want to thank all 9 of my fellow Ministry of Finance interns for a summer of not only work, but of learning and fun.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, mahalo, and masulang. Oh. Masulang.
Sulang or sulang?
Okay, wala kang chips.
Again.
Oh yeah, okay. So lang Weber, for this very entertaining video, it's really giving intern at the MOF. So I guess that's a daily activity at the MOF, and I'll let you introduce. Oh, does anybody have any questions for Weber? All right.
You know, the presentation is good when they don't have any questions. I need that. Oh, yes. So thank you guys for that. Like repeat my thanks to my supervisor, Ralin, to Leonie Chrisman from MOF, and to all of my other Ministry of Finance interns, and of course Palau National Scholarship Board, their members and their staff for their continued support, especially as I apply again for this upcoming fall semester. Without further ado, we started off with Robert and Elwise, and now it's myself. We have 2 more presentations from the Ministry of Finance alone, and our next presenters are our largest group from the Ministry of Finance. Across various bureaus and divisions, there is Jalen Tevid, Jack Penland, Omralad Ito, and Arjane Scabong.
Ali malungil total meron kami Rokuy. Kami ako ka Palau Fellowship Award recipient sa Laurira under Ministry of Finance. Makot tagi mamul introduce ka ma'am mga ka artse ni tops ko bang yang nga raskura Tamkang University da Taiwan suba Global Politics and Economics. Elakok mom sa electrical ata kamatok mo introduce tir.
Malungit tota ko mirogoy ang klara Chuck Penland nga School St. Edward's University, Austin, Texas. Ako subra major nga psychology with a minor in economics.
Malungit total margidar ako nga kang klakaom kadalat ito actor kam lekradoy tara College of Business and Economics tara University of Hawaii Hilo. Elobas ko kara Business Administration with a focus in management.
Good morning. My name is Jaylin Kalista Tevid, and I'm attending the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm currently a senior studying accounting, and I'll be graduating this December.
So, like Weber mentioned, all four of us are working under the Ministry of Finance under different bureaus. Under the Ministry of Finance, there are four main bureaus, including Robert and Elwai's ISSS. My bureau is the Bureau of Revenue and Tax. You could go to the next slide. Specifically, the Division of Processing, and my supervisor, my GOAT, Chief Bunger Lulugod. Next slide. So at the Division of Processing, we are in charge and have the responsibility to process and support all taxpayers' filings for their taxes. Some of those include taxpayer registration and business license issuance. For taxpayer registration, when it comes to taxes, the first and most important step is getting your tax identification number. So that TIN number, we refer to it as TIN, is the most important part in registration. You have to apply for a Tax 001 form because after you apply and you're inputted in the system, we are able to keep track of all your records. Secondly is our business license issuance, or al som register abes el shobargao, mal upra renew that license a shobargao. We process that as well. We also process taxpayer returns, which I'm sure is very, very happy, positive thing. And road use tax as well. Every year we have the annual car registration. Doing this has actually gave me a new appreciation for all of those who register their cars on time, because this can be very time consuming if there's a late penalty. Lastly, also archiving taxpayer records and tax refunds, very important just in terms of storing and being able to keep our records in case you need them. And lastly, tax refunds and social assistance payments. You could go to the next slide. So under tax refunds and social assistance payments, this is actually something that I found very interesting that I learned throughout this internship. I know that prior to working at this internship, I always thought of tax as something very burdensome and something that, is kind of like the government taking out of my pocket and never really being able to understand where that money went. But after having the opportunity to work under the Bureau of Revenue and Tax, I've kind of come to understand the full cycle of how taxes work and how taxes come back to our community to help aid our community as well. So I have two figures to show you. The first one being the wage and salary tax refund. Due to the tax reform in 2023, people are now able to get tax refunds. There are two different tax brackets for income, those being 15K and below. There have been 2,600 payees who have received 100% of their tax refunds, totaling to $1.6 million. And the second bracket being those who make over $15,000 to $30,000. Again, those are 2,000 payees who received around $970,000. Now for that second bracket, there's a fixed rate of $480. They don't get the full tax refund. But if you do donate to nonprofit organizations or you are paying tuition, you will get some of that money back as well. So it comes into a total of 4,666 payees who have been able to get their refunds back, and a total refund amount of $2.6 million. Now that's about 1/3 of the population, actually. So you could think of 1 out of 3 of you in this room are able to get your tax refunds, which has been a big change in helping our community as well, just seeing that money go back to our people. Lastly, something that I found very interesting working that I learned is our workforce population. 58% of our workforce population in total are non-Palauans, are foreigners, and only about 42% are local Palauans. I just wanted to show you guys this figure to emphasize how kind of dependent we've become on foreign labor in our country, and also just to emphasize and highlight how grateful I am to have this internship and to be able to have this experience to come back and work, and hopefully to motivate you guys as well to come back and do the same and contribute to our community. Thank you.
Akter kalmal mlongal tangat temno sabel intern Bureau of Revenue and Taxation and the kuknar eungala Division of Taxpayer Services. Emle audio eungala Chief Turang Ringilum. So a little overview of what Taxpayer Services is that el agukchak tawag na in charge sa processing, ako makuk customer service team. So we help people understand the tax. If they ask questions, we're gonna help them answer, and also, yeah, basically that. Karaman men was collecting and analyzing taxpayer inquiries. So aknebl olam mas email, collecting I got questions are okyak, how long it takes for us to respond to them, because we're trying to implement a chatbot for the email. So whenever you guys have questions, sangani will respond. And I've also been assisting with outreach for the upcoming PITA conference, which is the Pacific Island Tax Administration Association, El Manila September. Yes.
All right, and for me, I am also working under the Bureau of Revenue and Taxation under the supervision of Chief Raison Nakamura, specifically under the Division of Audit and Compliance. And under that division, they are responsible for conducting tax audits, verifying taxpayer compliance with tax laws, identifying discrepancies in tax reporting, and ensuring that taxes owed to the government are accurately assessed and collected. Some of my assignments that I got to do was be assigned to each auditor and help collect invoices and receipts for specific taxpayers and input them into spreadsheets, as well as utilizing the tax database to analyze revenue and claimed expenses for a taxpayer to see if there's any discrepancies, and assisting the auditors with their cases. And I was fortunate to be able to sit in on a call meeting with the auditor and their client and take notes on behalf of for reference notes for the auditor.
Nga ko kuratali ba ng takal mleorir Bureau of Revenue and Taxation. Nga ko nasa bakal intern under the Bureau of Budget and Planning in the Division of Budget and Management. Yak mleorir under the supervision of Chief Spirigal Pesang. Sa kukura overall related division na review revenues and budget estimates and justifications. They also assist government agencies in preparing their annual national budget, and they also monitor and conduct funds availability in order to certify availability of funds for expenditure within the government agencies. And they assist the different government agencies in preparing their performance reports. Ilang kadir coordinative nyo start, so I'm still halfway into my internship. At budget and planning, malkarap to ka talentengin dakadil budget, direct assist to government agencies. So, sige del first year nga kaloriyor, yak engle temela egal budget call meetings. So every year and on the second Tuesday of July, girela in according to the law, ya president submit a budget of the upcoming fiscal year to the OEK. Sige direction, yak mles egal city na egal meetings, and then I review performance reports of all the ministries, their budget proposals and requests, their spending range, and then justifications.
Okay, so what now? Elang akakuktura kami graduate tra UH Hilo. So I was planning on taking a gap year mutan mao school next year. Hopefully at UH Manoa or somewhere in Japan with studying business administration or public admin. Yeah, but within that year, ako start Lodi or RT.
After completing my internship this summer, I will go back to Texas to finish my last year, my senior year. And after graduating, hopefully I would look to attend a master's program.
After this, I'll be going back to school, finishing off my last semester. I plan on coming back to do the internship next year summer and looking for opportunities for a master's program either in Japan or Australia.
Then after this internship, yak mutal mara Taiwan. I'll finish my last year of undergrad, and then either I continue and pursue my masters, or I may oriol 1 year while I look for opportunities for master's programs. Yes, and mong lobong sama mal dewrang asule la Palau scholarship po that te alal no sa amal mervela magyawrior and gain experience. Edira kasamlo rang asule la President Tergid, ma Ministry of Finance, kuksel gurioringi Bureau of Budget and Planning, Director Galep Uduy, ma Supervisor nga kara Chief Swiri Galbesang, ma direct kal Leonic Quistmen, el leader orientation ng kama, may dira kamalmal ng sir kama, ma sa FEIS team, ma Budget and Planning team.
I would also like to extend my biggest thanks to Director Elway Ikeda, my supervisor, Chief Raison Nakamura, the auditing team, Janissa Ree and Scott, as well as Leonie Chrisman, the Treasury staff and Chief Darla, as well as the Bureau of Revenue and Tax staff.
I would also like to thank Leonie Chrisman being the reason why I'm no sabamam navigator MOF and know all of the offices, where to go. Director Director Elway Igada for also allowing us PRT interns to intern there. I also want to thank my supervisor, Chief Turang Ringil, and also the taxpayer specialist, RT Kim.
Just a quick thanks and shout out to Leonie Chrisman again for just providing us background on the ministry. I also want to shout out my chief, Bangar Lurul, for just being a great mentor and guide, as well as everyone else in my office of the Division of Processing have been really patient with me and showing me the works. So thank you guys.
All right, Sulang Kamil Dewang. I think you guys are the largest presenting group of us. And does anybody have any questions in regards to their internship experience or their presentation? If not, don't get tired of the Ministry of Finance just yet. Our next intern is also from the Ministry of Finance, working in Polaris. I would like to call in Julia Chogo Poloy for a presentation.
Malungil tuta nga ang kaya Julia Chokopuloy. Nga ka intern office ra Polaris. The Palau Automated Land and Resource Information System. And yes, I'm a geography major and I am under the Ministry of Finance. This past May, I was blessed enough to graduate from the University of Hawaii at Hilo with my Bachelor's of Arts in Geography and Environmental Studies, as well as a Sustainability Issue Certificate. So I've only started my internship last week, so I don't have a lot on my plate yet. But what I have been up to is kind of just developing my skills to be able to support what we're currently working on, which is updating our website, which is very new, I don't know if we can click, if you click on the word Polaris website, it should bring you to the site. Yes. Okay, click OK. Yes. And so here we have different variety of information to provide to the public. We have data, demographic dashboards about the 2020 census, interactive maps, as well as a bathymetry map that was recently updated, and other story maps and projects that have been conducted by people who have been trained by the office and have also kind of just presented about the work they're doing using GIS. And that's kind of what my office mainly does, technical assistance, especially with GIS or geographic information systems. And most of my coursework at UH Hilo was kind of centered on GIS. Sorry, if you can go back to the slide. Yes, and then along with that, I'm also supporting the street naming and address system project. As we all know, we are going to be updating all our streets with new street names, and all our houses and buildings will have new addresses. So as you can see on the interactive map, it's kind of an example of what the address is gonna look like. So my office is probably gonna be Office of Polaris 123, One Stop Lane, Madalay, Coror, Palau. Yes, yeah. And if you can go to the next. Yes, so what's next? So for the foreseeable future, I'm moving back home, and I will be here, yes. I'll be here for a couple of years. I do plan to pursue my master's, but right now I want to come back and I want to give back. And I really want to work with the Office of Polaris, as long as with the community. Also, I really miss my grandma. Hi, Mom. And yeah, and I want to gain experience, I want to expand my network, really look into what I want to do. And then later on, I want to pursue my master's in Japan and hopefully in remote sensing and sustainable communities. Oh yeah, and yeah, like I said, it's pretty short because this is only my second week. But I would like to thank PNSB. They've thankfully supported me all my 4 years in school. Also want to thank the Office of Polaris for welcoming me back a second year, on my bosses, my coworkers. Also want to thank UH Hilo. They really supported me, especially with my GIS work. Also want to thank the Ministry of Finance, my fellow interns, and the village that raised me. So thank you.
Kawal masaw lecho ko. Are there any questions for our presenting intern? Dire kamal bakatakla. All right, thank you, Cho. All right, moving finally away from the Ministry of Finance. Tumal ba to intern certir? Dire kalbal like away from the Ministry of Finance and away from the Palauan government in general. We're now moving on to our 10th intern presenter from the United States Embassy in Koror, Sean Angelo Maluchlu.
Ali, ungil tutao nga klega Sean Angelo Maluchlu, intern ra U.S. Embassy Koror. And because I'm working at the embassy in the U.S. Embassy, I'll be speaking English. So I go to school at St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My major is international relations with double minors in international business, my Asian studies / Chinese. And then my internship site is at U.S. Embassy Koror at IRI. My supervisors, I have multiple. Public Affairs Officer Jack Chesbro, Chargé d'Affaires Shankar Rao, who is here right now. CVA, could you please stand up so people could see you? Also, political economist Marston Morgan. And also, I'd like to shout out Ms. Deborah Toribyong, who's also at the back. Can you please stand up as well? Sulang. So the highlighted tasks, these are the things that I usually do at the embassy. So I draft remarks for key speakers for events whenever there is a major event that the U.S. Embassy is hosting or helping out, I'll be behind the scenes making the speeches or remarks. For example, for the swearing-in ceremony, I helped draft the speech for CDA Rao for his remarks. I also helped with the social media insights, looking on what's trending. And if you've seen Facebook for the U.S. Embassy, it's been really active for the past 2 months. Fun fact, by looking at the insights for the past 4 weeks, there has been 250,000 viewers who have been tapping onto our Facebook page. I've also helped curate flyers and infographics for many the events that are happening throughout the past couple months and the months coming ahead. There are events such as the Family Day that is happening today, and then the Goodwill Games that are happening this weekend. So if you want to see more info about that, please check our page. I also provide back channel support for current and ongoing projects, so very much behind the scenes, assisting, helping out with whatever the U.S. Embassy needs. And then lastly, I also made a stamp design for the post office that will be debuted in October. So if you guys see a new stamp that's attached to the U.S. Embassy and Palau, I helped make that as well. So new skills and knowledge gained, flexibility and time management, diversity in multitasking, and sustained and healthy work ethic. So going into this internship, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do, so I did almost everything. And then, so example, writing up media summaries to send to Washington, helping with remarks and speeches, or being assistants to many of the workers at the U.S. Embassy. Whatever they need, I am there to help them to the best of my ability. So what now? I'm going back to St. Joseph's for my final year, and then after I graduate, maybe I take an online master's program and begin working here in Palau. I want to say thank you very much to the people or the people mentioned above, the U.S. Embassy Koror, for having me. My supervisors, PAO Jack Chesbro, CDA Shankar Rao, political economist Marston Morgan, and all who have worked at the U.S. Embassy who has helped me. My friends and family, I think my parents are at the back. Mom and Dad, can you please stand up? Jason. Jason Maluchlu, Mary Ann Napil, those are my parents. I'm really grateful for them in raising me. My friends, people who are interns as well, I'm so glad that I have met you or have been knowing you for a while. And also to PNSP, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I hope that you continue to help me and the other future Palauans. Thank you.